This is the 2024 Buick Envista ST. Is it a best-kept compact crossover secret? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana to give you the particulars on this reasonably priced, in this day and age, model. This is the mid-range trim level. You have base, ST, or Sport Touring, and Avenir. This is the Sport Touring model we'll be taking a look at today. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. This is the first new, basically all new Buick that has been around in about 5, 6 years, maybe 7 years. It's been a while. So it'll be interesting to see what comes in the future, as there are some other redesigned models coming. As far as your lighting goes, everything is going to be LED. And a very nice look here. It looks very sharp with your LEDs. You've got your turn signal indicators that are up there, and these are your headlights right here. Now the thing about that, you'll notice you do not have fog lights. But because of the positioning of those LED headlights, I don't think the lack of fog lights is going to be a problem. A nice balance of some silver finish. We're going to have, or should I say, chrome, and our black right here. It's matte black. That's a good thing. And a little bit more of a matte finish down here as well. That is the silver down there. Now we do have a little bit of gloss black down here. I hope that holds up well, depending on where you drive, as far as any damage or anything goes that could come to that. Now, the one thing that I think should have been made available, maybe we'll see it in the future with the Envista, is all-wheel drive availability. It's only available in front-wheel drive, but there is something here that might be a little bit of a surprise for a few people as far as this model goes. And the tire and wheel size comes in with a width of 225, a 55 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch gloss black wheels. And you will have manually folding side view mirrors, but at least they do fold. Gloss black mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. They are power adjustable, they have blind spot monitoring, and they are heated as well. So a lot of good things to talk about there. Here's the remote. Remote start is here. There's your lock button, unlock, and you can open the power tailgate and close it right there. The front doors have passive entry. That's what this button is going to be. We won't see that on the rear doors. But one thing that is here that is very unique is this sport back rear. The way everything slopes back, it really gives it a nice sporty look. You have quite a bit going on here for the price point of this model. And we'll have the LED taillights to finish things off. There is the new Tri-Shield Buick logo as of 2024. We're going to see that on a lot more models moving forward. There are two engine options available. This is going to be the smaller of the two. 1.2 liter 3-cylinder, 137 horsepower, 162 pounds-feet of torque. Now, one thing that might be a surprise, this is what I was referring to earlier, is that this turbocharged engine mates to a 6-speed automatic transmission, not a CVT. So that's good news, I think, for a lot of people. How about our MPGs? 28 city, 32 highway, 30 combined, and 3.3 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. It does have capless fuel fill and a 13.2 gallon gas tank. And going back to this sloped rear window, the sport back look back here, Buick says that because of the angle of this rear window, a rear window wiper is not required. I haven't had a chance to drive an Envista in the rain, so I couldn't tell you for sure. Maybe you have. Tell us down in the comments section. You do have a power tailgate. Nice to see that is here. And this rear cargo cover is easily removable. Nice to know that, but easy to get in and easy to get out. So if you need to use it, it is here. 20.7 up to 42 cubic feet of cargo capacity. There is a little bit of space behind the fender wells on each side, and even a little bit of an area right here that's recessed. And then underneath the floor is the spare tire. Good news to know that the spare tire is here. And obviously, very easy to deal with as far as closing your power tailgate. You can just push the button right there and you're good to go. And a real quick tutorial, just some bonus material for you. If you come up to this rear tailgate and you push the button to open it and the power feature doesn't work, here's what you need to do. Most likely, this is the problem, unless your battery is dead, and that likely is not the problem. The dial right here determines whether the Tailgate opens to max 3/4, or it's turned off. And I have it set to off right now. Now it's set to max. That's what you need to check if that ever happens to you. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers are going to find. The armrest is actually pretty comfortable back here when you push down on it like that. It doesn't seem like it would be, but you put your arm on there, not too bad. Door bins right here. You can put a bottle down in there if you need to. And here's what we have with our rear seating. Now, you don't have a recline built into that, or you can't actually recline the seats. There is a little bit of recline built into these rear seats. And no armrest, no fold-down armrest right here. That would be nice to have with some cup holders built in, but you do have the bottle holders with the door bins to help make up for that to a degree. And you'll notice no rear air conditioning vents. In an interior of this size, I don't think that's a big deal. You will have a couple of USB options and a little bit of space right there underneath. Now, you won't find a sunroof here. There is an available sunroof, but not on this model. So that's what you have. You'll also find with our jet black interior, the blue piping right here. That really gives it a nice look. Although you have to be a fan of jet black interior to really want this option. And if you're wondering about the exterior color, it's moonstone gray metallic. The interior is ebony with Santorini blue. That is the name of the blue piping and the blue contrast stitching on these front doors. Gives it a nice look. And what about the sticker price? $28,445, at least here at Mike Morgan Buick GMC. So let's take a look at what else you get for the price. There's a better look at that Santorini blue contrast stitching. Power windows, power locks, power windows, or excuse me, mirrors managed right there. And all your headlight functionality and taillights, everything, you can turn that on to auto right there if you want to. And for those of you who like to let people around you know what you're doing, here is your turn signal lever. Some of you like to work in mysteriousness and not let anyone know around what you're doing when you're turning or changing lanes. And right here, the control for your windshield wipers, because there is no rear window wiper. Steering wheel mounted controls, everything pretty easy to figure out here as far as that goes. And a very nice look at the instrument display. It does look nice and modern. I showed this to somebody one time and said, what do you think this is from? And they guessed a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz. It is actually a little more high-end than you might expect here, especially for the price point. And we're also going to have everything here for our touchscreen. Very easy to deal with. Not a whole lot going on here. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then when you go into your settings, here's what we're going to have. Quite a bit here. Got everything for managing your phones and all that good stuff, and the vehicle as far as that goes. How about your safety features? Well, we have automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking. We'll also have our adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert, park assist, your rear camera assist symbols, and your rear cross traffic alert. And speaking of the rear camera, well, you only have one view, but you know what? At this price point, probably not expecting much more than that. It would sure be nice to see more camera views at this price point, but that's what we get in this case. I don't think that's a big deal. You do have single zone climate control here. Again, I think that's sufficient for this particular model. You're controlling your fan speed on this side, airflow direction, all that good stuff there, and the temperature right here. Now, you will find a wireless charging pad right there, as well as a 12-volt power outlet, and also connectivity in the form of USB. If you want to turn the auto stop-start feature off, there's where you do that. Lane keeping assist, pretty easy to deal with. A conventional style shifter for those who don't like push-button shifters. That's a good thing. Now, you will have a little bit of gloss black here, so make sure not to fingerprint that up too much. Cup holders and a little bit of space in front of the center console and a little bit more space inside. The height of the center console does seem to be sufficient. I just wish it came forward a little bit more, but not too bad. Depending on where you position your seat, that could actually work out really well. And here is the upper console. Hopefully that shows up well. I think that's a little bit better. Now we kind of lighten things up a bit. You can see what all is there. And your rear view mirror. Now, there's not going to be a rear view camera mirror here. Not at this price point, but again, that would be some kind of thing to pull off if you could sell a vehicle at this price with some of those extra features. You wouldn't be able to keep them on your lot. As it stands, I know that Buick has had challenges keeping these Envistas on the lot. People really are interested in these. And a very nice look across the dash as far as the air conditioning vent design goes and just everything that you have here. It's very well put together for the price point. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't like that 1.2 or even the 1.3 liter engine. Well, that's okay. There's a lot of other vehicles out there for you. They're going to cost a little bit more, but for people who are buying this model, I think it will be sufficient. They're not really looking for any kind of neck-snapping performance. Not too bad. Speaking of that, why don't we get out on the road and see what it is like to drive this Envista. All right, here we go on our test drive, and let's just find out what it's like to accelerate up to the speed limit. Not really trying that hard, and actually pretty surprising. I'm already about 7 miles an hour above the speed limit, barely, not even quite the half throttle, so probably around a quarter throttle there to do that, just easing into the pedal. Not too bad. Like I said earlier, most people who are going to buy the Envista are not looking for spectacular performance. They're looking for something that will get the job done without breaking the bank. A reasonable price. It might be, as funny as it sounds in this day and age, maybe somebody's first vehicle. Someone going to college, I don't know. There's a lot of different options there, and really good vehicle for big city driving. If you live in an area that's highly congested and you don't need a large vehicle, well, this is not a bad option where that's concerned. The ride quality seems good for being a compact crossover. Let's get that correct, which is a little unusual. A lot of the time when you have a shorter wheelbase, you tend to end up with a little bit more of a choppy ride, but we're about to take advantage of one of the best things about a shorter wheelbase, and that is a nice tight turning radius. Absolutely no worries about making that turn right there to head back to the dealership and just cruising on down the road. One thing, or two things actually, I did not mention earlier in the video. The passenger seat is manually adjustable, but the driver's seat is power adjustable. And I don't remember if I said it or not. I may have, but if I didn't, I'll say it anyway. You do have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, just so you know that you can position things just as you want them to be as the driver. I do feel comfortable here. I could really make a lot more adjustments than I already did with this driver's seat. So there's a lot of adjustability left, if you want to put it that way. So I haven't really set things up perfectly for myself because I'm only going to be on the test drive for just a few minutes. Something that I always like about Buick is that the technology in these vehicles is not horribly difficult to learn. So that's always nice to know, especially if you're that person who is stepping into a vehicle with this type of technology for the very first time. And there are still a lot of people out there who have not had this kind of technology just yet. So don't let that scare you off. It's actually very minimal here compared to a lot of other vehicles out there, but still a lot of great features. Went over the safety features as far as the driving aids earlier. Obviously, you're going to have multiple airbags throughout the interior. Hopefully you never need those, but they're here if you do. I'd say it's a very well-rounded vehicle for the price point. If you're not looking to break the bank, if you're on a budget, a tight budget, or maybe you're just not wanting to spend a ridiculous amount of money, this is definitely something to consider. And there are the high points of the 2024 Buick Envista ST. Is it a best kept compact crossover secret? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I look forward to seeing what everybody has to say. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Morgan Buick GMC here in Shreveport, Louisiana for loaning me this model for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.